Welcome to Technovation. I'm your host, Peter High. My guest today is Rob Mills. Rob is the Executive Vice President, Chief Technology, Digital Commerce, and Strategy Officer of Tractor Supply Company, a role he's held since August of 2018. Tractor Supply Company is a retailer of products for home improvement, agriculture, lawn and garden maintenance, livestock, equine, and pet care for recreational farmers and ranchers, pet owners, and landowners that earns roughly $13 billion in annual revenue. In his role, Rob's responsible for leading teams and change of building technology platforms to support the growth of all business functions, overseeing e-commerce and coordinating the company's long-term strategy. He previously served as Senior Vice President and Chief Information Officer from 2014 to 2018, and prior to that was the Chief Information Officer of Ulta Beauty. Rob Mills, welcome to Technovation. It's great to speak with you today.
Thanks, Peter. Great to speak to you and your audience base.
Oh, I'm so glad you've taken time with us. We greatly appreciate that. Well, let's take a moment, if you don't mind, Rob, for those who may be less familiar with it. Could you provide a bit of an overview? I provided the briefest of thumbnail sketches there. Can you dive into a bit more detail into Tractor Supply Company's business, please?
Yeah, would love to. Once again, thank you for having me this morning. So Tractor Supply is the largest rural retailer in the U.S. We have about 2,100 stores across 49 states, a big digital presence as well. You know, we serve as a one-stop shop for what we call the recreational farmer, or think hobby farmer, ranchers, and people that just enjoy living the rural lifestyle. You know, our products range anywhere from feed and pet food to supplies to take care of their pets and their animals, as well as equipment that's needed to maintain their property. You know, we view ourselves and our customers are essential needs-based retailers, so very much a purpose-driven company. We pride ourselves on our team members and their expertise and the loyalty that they bring, you know, the knowledge that they bring to our customer base as well as the organization, which ultimately drives advice, you know, to the customer based on their needs. And bigger picture, what we stand for is really having that legendary customer service that our customers appreciate and we're known in the industry in providing. You know, I'll just end by, we hire our customers as our team members and they live the lifestyle. They're very passionate about the lifestyle, and it's key to who we are and the mission and value of the organization.
That's a great overview, Rob. Thank you for that. And I mentioned in the introduction, you've got an unusual combination of responsibilities as EVP, Chief Technology, Digital Commerce, and Strategy Officer. I wonder if you could take a quick moment and talk a bit further about your purview, perhaps unpacking a little bit of the three facets of your role.
Yeah, that's great. So I personally think I have the best job here at Tractor. You know, I have three kind of core responsibilities within my organization. So first thing, I lead all the technology for the company, both setting future direction as well as execution on kind of the day-to-day and the operations, which would include any of the security and customer privacy as well. I have a great leadership team in place. They do amazing work in ensuring that the customer and the team member is always at the forefront of everything that we're doing from a technology perspective. The other area that I have responsibility is the digital business. So essentially the P&L of all of our e-commerce and digital functions, which would include the website all the way down to the consumer mobile app. So think product management, delivering new capabilities, that digital experience, both within the store, outside of the store, as well as even the merchandising that we have online, and then working with our in-store merchandise team to ensure that there's a good understanding of how we approach a customer from a product and assortment holistically. And then lastly, corporate strategy, which is my role there is really about acting as a facilitator across the executive team and the key leaders of the organization, talking about the strategies that we're aligned on the business. So, you know, currently what we call is the Life Out Here strategy, and understanding those pillars and those priorities, but also how we're advancing our strategy to ensure not that we're just driving top line growth and driving that legendary customer service that I referenced earlier and that we're known for, but also ensuring that we're driving productivity and just operational efficiencies that ultimately delivers shareholder value. What makes this job also really fun is not just setting and working with my peers and the leadership team of setting the direction for the company strategy, but also any of the M&A activity. And most recently, and this is all public, we announced the acquisition of Orscheln Farm and Home. And so we're thrilled with that. We're thrilled to welcome those team members to the Tractor culture. And now our focus is really working on what's the conversion going into next year. So really proud of the team, the leadership team that we have in place, and also our CEO setting the direction that the executive team then builds our strategy around.
It's a great overview and certainly a fascinating combination of responsibilities, Rob. And I wonder if you could talk a bit about the expansion of those roles and the logic of having all three of those under one leader. In some ways, the advancement from CIO, which was your original title with the company, to the digital commerce piece makes logical sense. It certainly is a great and still rare additional set of responsibilities, but the digital aspect of that certainly, understandable that the technologist, digital leader would take those responsibilities on. I'm especially fascinated to understand, as that expanded into strategy, what the logic was there in having the technology digital leader also run strategy for the organization. Can you talk a bit about the logic of combining those responsibilities as your purview grew within the company?
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, what makes Tractor very unique is our value system. And part of that value system is we're always looking to grow talent and develop our team members at every level within the organization. And I'm fortunate to work for an organization that does that. And when you think about retail today, as well as a lot of the other industries, it makes a lot of sense to us, as well as, once again, when you look at other industries, that technology plays such a critical role in how retailers are successful. Consumers are leveraging technology through the entire shopping process, from going to that mobile app or the e-commerce website to look at product availability, store information, product specs, as well as all the way through that shopping experience, both online and store. So how do we make it easier and more convenient for them to search for the products that they need, learn about their products, as well as really streamline that whole purchase process when they're in store or online? The same thing applies to our team members. Technology is a big part about how the team member performs in their jobs, both in stores or DCs. And how do we kind of facilitate not just the efficiency behind technology and do things faster and smarter and make our team members' life hopefully easier, but how do we integrate and build that relationship much stronger than exists day in, day out with our customers base? So really having that connection with their customers at all time. We view technology as an enabler for both sales as well as the ability to get just more cost efficient. So when you look at technology playing such a key role from the customer experience, driving that legendary experience, and then also with the value of the team members and giving them the tools to interact with the customer, be more efficient, building upon that relationship, which ultimately drives shareholder value, stronger team member engagement, and that legendary customer service that we're known for. When you look at my background specifically, I have a unique combination of my career in sitting business functions as well as technology functions. And those experiences really came together here at Tractor that allowed me to wear multiple hats and continue just to gain experience, not just, throughout my career, but here at Tractor, and adding some immediate impact and where technology and digital could impact that and ultimately be a core part of our strategies here at Tractor Supply.
And talk a bit about, Rob, if you would, the teams under you. Are they three distinct teams as well? Are there some members of it that cut across the three areas, or multiple of them anyway, as you do? How do you organize the team that helps drive all that you've described?
So another core value here at Tractor is all about teamwork and driving cross-functional team. And when you think about technology, there's probably not a team that we don't interact with on a daily basis. And that could be from a strategy perspective, as well as how we're implementing new initiatives, new business value drivers, et cetera. And so within my organization, the technology function just doesn't touch digital or strategy, but it touches all functions, even outside of kind of my downline and within my organization. Within my team specifically, though, when you think about product management and the user experience, yeah, it crosses quite a bit into the strategy function, but more importantly, into the digital function. So there's definitely crossover, but I can't stress enough, a big part of our business is teamwork, driving that cross-functionalness. And for technology, there's nothing that we don't touch today. And that's very, very critical. I'm extremely proud about the team and what we deliver here. A year over year, a month over month, day over day, we're extremely focused on that customer and delivering value for that customer, improving the quality and the team member experience, and ultimately doing what's right for our business. So I think we have a great team. And yes, even within my organization, we cross, but more importantly, how we cross into other organizations.
You mentioned at the outset, Rob, the company's focus on recreational farmers and ranchers, pet owners. Talk a bit about the digital experience that you're driving for them, and frankly, the expectations you've come to realize that they have for interacting with your company in multiple ways, whether that's digitally or in person, and how you think about bringing that to life and the plans that you have afoot as a result of that.
Yeah. So first, maybe just take a step back. When I think about our Life Out Here strategy that I referenced earlier, it's about designing the balance between both the needs of our customers, our team members, the communities that we serve and we're very ingrained with, as well as our stakeholders, our shareholders. And the focus on delivering that customer experience, that legendary customer experience and the team member experience, while continuing to meet the needs of the customer expectations around convenience, for example. Whether that's how they understand product availability, as well as even the education and kind of that know-how, that knowledge expertise that they need for their animals and their properties. Our customers view us a trusted advisor, and we take care of them at all times. Our strategies take into account that the need of the operational excellence, driving productivity, and ensuring that we're allocating the resources in an efficient manner across all those needs. When I think about digital and technology, that plays a huge role in all these areas, providing the team members the tools and information to drive that convenience for our customers and the productivity for our team members. Over the years, for example, we have deployed mobile devices to all of our team members where they're always connected to that customer, where they could check out a customer on the side lot by propane or anywhere within the store. So it acts as a virtual register. So we're coming to that customer, as well as providing our team members the tools that they need around like inventory, pricing, and even customer previous shopping information. So they're always connected to that customer. But, even with all these advancements, that's not enough at times. And we need to leverage technology to really bridge that gap between digital and the physical retail. We're connecting our customers and our team members through this technology. And, I referenced the in-store mobile app with our team members, but even our customer mobile app to facilitate those conversations and those transactions. And the results is really about improvements to that customer satisfaction, how we drive our sales, and ultimately provide that legendary customer service that we're known for.
That's very interesting, Rob. Thanks for that overview. I wanted to also ask you, I mentioned at the top, you've been a technology and digital leader multiple times over. I talked about how you were the CIO at Ulta Beauty before joining Tractor. You also were a chief information officer at Sears prior to that. So retail is certainly a big part of your experience. However, retail in very different settings between Sears, Ulta Beauty, and now your current company. Talk a bit about, if you would, the process of learning new organizations in the broader segment of retail and what you draw from each that sort of is a thread, a through line, if you will, across your experiences versus some of the new attributes that are necessarily going to be the case in any new organization and certainly, of course, a different segment of retail in each of these cases as well. Would appreciate your reflections there if you would offer them.
Yeah, no, that's great. Great question. All through my career, I've been very fortunate by reference working for some amazing organizations, leaders, learning, as well as different industries, anywhere from financial services to insurance. And for the last, 22 plus years, really focusing in the retail space. And what I've learned is each organization and teams are unique. It's a part of what differentiates, the organization and more specifically, the retailer. And it's an enabler for the success for the business. And that's how I think about technology and digital. It's an enabler. So as I've onboarded to new organizations, I view each as an opportunity to understand new ways in regards to the organization and how the organization thinks about problems. But more importantly, how can you apply technology to address the customer needs, as well as just overall to think about new ways to operate the business, new ways of working, and then also at the same time expanding just my own personal network. I'm a strong believer that the way that things have done in the past may not be the best for the future, even if it worked well, but we can always learn from the past. And so how do you take the learnings from the past and the things that worked well, as well as the things that maybe were opportunities, and evolve new opportunities and new ways to work for the future? The technology team at Tractor Supply was ready for a transformation when I joined back in 2014. It's just an amazing team, amazing organization. And through the years, they've done so much, but they were coming up with a situation where there was a lot of demands being driven by the business. And of course, the business had desire to do more, and the IT organization wanted to do more. And many of the team members could see the value that IT could drive. And we were able to give an opportunity, with me coming on board back in 2014, where I was actually had a seat at the table, at the executive table, where I could help influence the investment, the direction of the company, as well as be a voice where technology could be an enabler. And as we evolved this organization, that vision has come to life. We really shift ourselves from being an order taker to be a thought leader within the organization. And I'm super proud of what the technology has done over the years and the new capabilities that we bring every day, month, and year to this organization that is accelerating our growth and improving the team member experience, the customer experience, and really meeting and in many cases exceeding the expectations of the customer. So extremely proud, but my best advice for anyone that's doing the transition is learn what's worked in the past, bring that to the future, and take the time to listen to the organization, really understand where their pain points are, but also what works out well and how do you build upon that.
That's good advice for anyone taking on a role akin to the one you seized at 2014. Thank you for that overview, Rob. You also are a board level technology executive. You've served on the board of B&G Foods and Real Truck. I wonder if you could talk a bit about your board level experience and how that opportunity or opportunities materialized.
Yeah, great question. And thank you for that once again. So, myself, personally, I'm a continuous learner. I'm very curious. I always like to learn. I was intrigued by how technology was playing a broader role within the boardroom. I saw it within Tractor Supply and the discussions that were occurring. I also felt, based upon from other top executives in the industry, as well as just my peer group, that I could add value in a boardroom. And when I looked at my personal development, the type of learner I was, and always focusing on that continuous learning, and I saw where there was a real need and in the boardroom setting, and I felt that I could play. So I started leveraging my network, having internal discussions with CEO, the board, identifying opportunities. And I will tell you, it was a process. This is something that you can't just, create overnight. You have to have the relationships. You have to be very clear about the value and the role that you want to play within a board setting. So I took a lot of coaching, a lot of feedback from several leaders in the industry. I was fortunate enough, a lot of new introductions were made. And then ultimately, I was invited to participate through a board interview process and fortunate enough to actually land an amazing board seat role with B&G Foods. And I've learned a tremendous amount. I feel like I brought back value to the organization, gained some new experiences, both that benefit B&G as well as Tractor Supply. And most importantly, just built some amazing relationships over the course of this journey. So I do feel, kind of summarize it, takes a leader that has curiosity, that wants to learn, understands the value that technology plays in that setting, but also at the same time, really bringing to the board and having a clear understanding and a voice that you can contribute to hopefully improve a governance structure and make an organization even better.
That's a great overview. And for many of the reasons you described, hopefully that pathway to greater level of access for your fellow tech and digital leaders to join for comparable reasons. I wanted to ask you also, Rob, as you look to the future, what are some trends that excite you? We've talked about a few of them as they apply to an organization like yours, but what else comes to mind as you think about what's coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, the trends are endless. Innovations being created by the day, by the hour. And, the question is, what's the maturity of some of this innovation and what's the right timing? The one that excites me the most is data. And I know that's a broad category and data can mean different things to many different people, but, companies in general have access to a lot of data. And technology sits at the heart of that. So how do you take this data and turn it into opportunities that would really allow growth and just an improved customer experience? So just in general, data really excites me, from the gleaning and the opportunities around insights that the business could capture. And it enables core decision making back to the organization. So when you think about where technology sits at the heart of capturing and having visibility of this data, how do you take the insights and then share it out to grow the business and to make real-time or effective decisions? Also, at the same time, with the improvements that you're seeing in machine learning, artificial intelligence, that's really driving just a real-time, robust experience for our customers. One-to-one marketing, personalization, that's been around for a while. But with the power of now machine learning and artificial intelligence becoming real, you can take that data and glean real-time insights and serve up a whole unique customer experience based upon their preferences, based upon their shopping experience, based upon data that you may have about your customers that makes it much more relevant for how they're shopping and just driving the experience within the company. The last thing I'll add is, in addition to the kind of the business impact, it excites me that we're hiring and developing new skills to support these technologies, and skills are changing very rapidly. But these new technologies and how we think about data, it's really enabling new growth opportunities for our team members, both within IT as well as outside of IT. And I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, very interesting. I also wanted to ask you, Rob, as somebody who has been a technology leader and a chief at multiple organizations, I wonder if you could reflect on the secrets to your own success and pathways to leadership, some of the difference makers along the way that provided the opportunities that you've been able to seize and take advantage of. What are some things that come to mind?
Yeah, I don't know if I have any secrets here, but I definitely have a lot of learnings along the way. And, the first thing that I would say is the biggest learning that I've had in my career, it's change. And change is constantly occurring in our professional lives, our personal life, and especially in the retail industry, which makes one of the reasons why I love retail so much. We are always anticipating and reacting to a changing customer behavior and expectations. Just to think about COVID. COVID hit and we closed our eyes and it felt like we woke up 10 years later, especially around that customer behavior, how they're using digital, the internet. It really accelerated kind of the thinking for many businesses. And this means that you always need a team that can embrace change and even thrive on change. You always need leaders that can help the team members through managing change, which is really challenging at times. And that's what makes in my opinion, a great leader, to understand their team, their organization, how they're willing and able to embrace and accept change. And as a leader, how do you help them through this process? And that applies to whether it's changing technologies, to changes in the business, or even in ways how we operate and work as a team. In my experience, the more effective you are and your teams are at managing and creating change, the more successful you'll be as a leader. Second, I love seeing team members and their passion around technology and growth and just solving problems together, specifically problems that will actually advance the business and allow for growth and efficiency. There is nothing more exciting than seeing a team celebrate the success of a major project implementation, reflecting on the changes that they introduced and the difficult problems that they had to solve. And more importantly, how did they overcome it as a team, but also leveraging the tools and their creativity that they have. In my role, I have the opportunity to play in technology, participate in the planning and execution of our business strategies. And the most important thing that really excites me is about building and growing career of such talented team members here at Tractor Supply. I'm very lucky to be a part of just an amazing organization. And I've said this before already, but we have a great team. And to me, one of the things that excites me is have the best team in place, develop them, grow them, and help them prepare for change, embrace it, accept it, and drive it. And you're going to have be very successful as a leader, as well as, more importantly, as an organization.
That's a great overview, Rob. Thank you for reflecting on that. Well, Rob Mills, thank you again for taking time with me, sharing a bit about your experience across multiple stops as a technology and digital chief. A bit more about, of course, the specifics of your role at Tractor Supply Company, the unusual combination of responsibilities you have, and how those play out, the downstream impact on that in terms of the organization that you lead, and some of the change that you were helping drive. It's been a great conversation. Thank you so much.
All right, Peter. Well, thank you. I've truly enjoyed it. And, thank you for being a fan of Tractor Supply as well as just the retail industry. Thank you.